Good day, Liebchens. I'm Reichsmarshal Salem Suicide, and I'm pissed off. I want to talk to you today about some assumptions that the people in the world around us transsexuals make about us. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag too, as if anyone who watches my videos hasn't figured this out for themselves already. I am a male to female transsexual, so everything that I'm about to rant about, I've lived. It's been every breath I've taken for the last 10 years. So I know what I'm talking about. In fact, I know people who've lived this even longer and greater depth than I have. So let's start with something small. There's a self-righteous crowd out there that thinks that I and every other transsexual worth the name should be ready to start a fistfight every time the word tranny gets used. Now, it's my understanding that tranny, among other things, is a shorthand for the words transsexual and transvestite, which are long, mouthful sort of words. And I think this sort of shortening is the same sort of thing as calling a professional a pro, but hey, I'm just guessing. Okay, it's wrong to assume that tranny offends everyone, okay? And a smart person is going to find out if it offends someone or not. And I resent the implication that I, and any other transsexual worthy of the name, should be willing to have a go at somebody every time the word tranny is used. It's not offensive to me. It is offensive to other people. My girlfriend is offended by the word tranny, for example, and plenty of other people are because it connotes sex work. And that's a road that far too many trans people have been down, and I don't want to cause them any pain. However, since it doesn't offend me, maybe the self-righteous crowd would be better served by asking themselves, does this offend a particular person or not? Now, while we're on the subject of people who don't like the word tranny because it connotes sex work, we'll move on to a related topic, and that is trans people being played in film and on television by non-trans people. And this subject has come up because of the plaudits that Jared Leto has won for his portrayal of a male-to-female transsexual in the 2013 The Dallas Buyers Club, which is, as I understand it, about a drug dealer who uses his connections to bring life-saving and health-improving medications into the United States illegally to help persons living with HIV/AIDS. Okay, there may not always be a trans person who is available to portray a particular role, to act, or who may actually have any talent. We have to remember this because film is a calculated falsehood. Okay, it's make-believe. So why are people all up in arms about trans people being played by normal folks? I would sooner see the role played well than to see one of my sisters in arms up on stage or on film being played by a trans person. It's not necessary to me because I, and I'm sure the other people out there with a few functioning brain cells, know that there isn't always a trans person who's available and frankly would do a good job in a particular role. Okay? Finally, we're going to come to the grating declaration of transsexuals Carmen Carrera and Laverne as flawless trans women. They may be flawless women, but they're not flawless trans women because they have bought into society's concept of what a woman should be and society's concept of what is beauty. And that's not productive. They have allowed themselves to become sex objects and be objectified by the world around them instead of coming up with their own idea of what beauty and what womanhood actually is. Why should they objectify themselves or allow others to objectify them when they don't have to? Men are brought up to view their bodies as these wonderful tools that can accomplish so many wonderful things. Women are brought up to believe that their bodies are projects to be improved over the course of their life to attain a standard of femininity and beauty which frankly isn't possible to obtain without a wagon load of obsessive behavior. Why should you be what other people tell you should be and instead be what you think you should be? Okay? I spent 30 plus years being what society told me that I should be. Now that I've shed those shackles, I'm not about to put on another pair. There are plenty of trans people out there who are just people. They are airline pilots. Or ex-Navy SEAL Kristen Beck simply lives life. And I think that's the way that all trans people should live their lives. Just be people. Don't try and be what society tells you you should be. So, in closing, This is Reich Marshall, Salem Suicide, saying, be yourself, don't assume what's going to offend other people, and don't get excited if the role of a trans person is played by a mundane person. That's life, and there's a lot bigger and a lot more important things out there that we should be bothering ourselves by. So don't be a self-righteous pain in the ass. Thank you so much, and have a nice day.